Hi, you guys. Today is kind of, I want to say like a sad day, but a happy day. Well, I'm going to back up until the year of the year 2018, September the 14th, 2018. Um, I had a little angel. He's my angel. He's my baby boy, and he made a year in heaven. Today is the 15th, I think. Um, we did a little celebration for him yesterday for his first heavenly birthday. But we're gonna rewind back to when I found out I was pregnant. I didn't know that I was pregnant. I didn't think much of it because at this time my menstrual was like sometime it was on time, sometime it wasn't. Sometimes you stressed out. Females go through different things every month, and sometimes it delays your period. So I didn't think nothing of it. So April of last year of 2018 was my last cycle. So when uh May came, no cycle. And I'm like, something's just not right. But I wasn't sick or anything. It was just my cycle didn't come. So I was like, the next month came. I was like, well, I brushed it off, May. I brushed it off, like, whatever. But I felt this little cramping that just did not go away. And it was like, around my cycle, when my cycle was due, I felt this real bad cramps that just will not go away. And I also spotted. So I was like, I still didn't think nothing of it. Okay, whatever. So June came, and at that time we wasn't married, but my husband now, he was like, go take a pregnancy test. And I'm like, for what? It's a waste of money, because I haven't been getting pregnant for a while. So I was like, no, it's not worth it. So I think that day I just got upset with him for no reason, and I went in the store and I went on and got a pregnancy test. And I looked at this test and I'm like, seriously, are you serious? And he was wondering why I was always moody and upset at every little thing. So I took the test in there and I threw it at him. I said, this is the reason why, I've been so moody and I've been so fussy and upset. I mean, to be honest, I still couldn't believe it. I bought like 12 tests. I kept going to Walmart, and I was like, well, let me buy another test because maybe something just ain't right. I don't believe it. So then I decided to make an appointment at my local clinic. And they went on and they gave me a test and it came back positive. I was so excited. I was so happy because back in 2000 and I want to say 2014, I was pregnant with another baby boy and I lost him. So like from all those years, I didn't get pregnant in between. So I didn't. It was unbelievable. I was so excited. And I, go to my doctor's appointments like normal. And I wasn't having no cramping, like, other than, your regular pregnancy cramps here and there. And I really didn't get sick for the longest. Like, I didn't get sick till like the start of my second trimester, which was really funny. Because it was like, I was just waiting on it. Because everybody tells you, oh, you're going to deal with morning sickness on the first trimester. It never happened. So all of a sudden, in my second trimester, like the beginning of my second trimester, I started getting sick. I couldn't eat chicken. I couldn't eat. All I can mostly eat was vegetables and fruits. It's basically like I turned into a vegetarian because my body just didn't want it. I was always nauseated. Or if I just get in the car and go somewhere, I was always nauseated. And I decided, like, at this time, they told me that my due date was January the 30th. I think it was January the 30th. When I went to the doctor after my first ultrasound, which was at the clinic, they gave me a due date of January the 30th. But when I went to the doctor from instead of going to the clinic. When I went to my OB, he told me, well, you're going to be due February the 10th. So I was like, okay, I was expecting my baby boy to be here February the 10th. And so I went to my 17th. No, actually, yeah. I went to my 16-week appointment and everything was fine. Like, he was like, your baby is healthy. And that's when I found out that I was having a boy. Instantly, my husband was excited because I wanted a girl, but I was just excited. I was, whatever I was blessed with, I'm happy. So sooner that day, I was so excited. I just went baby shopping crazy. And then the doctor was like, well, you're measuring 16 weeks. So I'm like, okay, so I guess my due date gonna be February the 10th. And he said yes. So and 2 weeks later, 3 weeks after, I was supposed to be scheduled for my anatomy scan. But instead I didn't make it to that. 17, I was thinking in my head the day 17 weeks and 3 days. Happened to go to the bathroom, and all of a sudden my mucus plug just popped out. So basically my water broke early. Just a little bit came out, so I was like, well, maybe I'm just leaking, but I knew that my plug had, pretty much came out. So I went to the hospital, and when I went to the hospital, they was like, well, you have so much fluid left. He's still alive. I mean, he was still in there dancing and kicking, and heartbeat was perfect, but I didn't have that much fluid. So September the 13th was when all this happened. September the 13th, they came in and they was like, well, we're going to have to go ahead and end this pregnancy. And I was like, why? And that was the hardest day of my life. Just to know that my baby boy was fine and he was happy. You can tell he was happy because he was just dancing. Like, his little legs was on the ultrasound. It was just moving, dancing like. And they constantly checked his heartbeat, and she was like, well, we're going to give you this pill to go ahead and induce your labor. I stayed in labor. I came to the hospital around 10. My labor started at 12. I had him at 8:18 a.m. September the 14th, which was the hardest thing ever. I cried and cried. Now it's much easier to talk about. And to all my ladies that's going through it, I understand your pain. To go into a hospital and you're not coming out with your baby is the hardest thing ever. I stayed in the hospital 3 days. Everything, was good. Everything came out perfect with my body, but I just felt, sad, and I felt like my body failed me, and it was hard. It was hard. I cried and cried and cried till I couldn't go back home because I'm like, I left home pregnant with my baby boy still alive, and now he's gone. So my husband was like, well, another thing, after he was born, he weighed, I think it's 14. He was like 15 ounces, which he was bigger than what the doctor said. I was actually 20 weeks and 2 days when I had him. And I decided to name him after his father, which is Cody Allen Jr. Cody Allen Crawford Jr. And he's my angel baby. Just like my first son, his name was Josiah Lavelle. And they my heart. And I would do anything to get my babies back. But I just look back at it and I'm like, they're around heaven probably playing around. He's with his brother, his big brother, looking out for him. My grandmother is looking out for him. And I just try to think things positive, and that's what helps me get through, the pain of the miscarriage. And actually, they classified that as not a miscarriage because if you're 20 weeks and over, they classify that as stillbirth. All during labor, he was still alive. And once I had him and pushed him out, That's when they declared his passing. And like I say, it's hard just to think your baby is gone. Me personally, I didn't want to see him like that. And to this day, I regret that I haven't, but at the same time, I kind of don't want to remember that, for him. I'd rather remember him as that little dancing little boy inside of my belly when we was trying to figure out what he was, because when we went for, the gender scan to see what he was, he had his legs closed so we couldn't see, and his daddy said, can we see what you are? And he just instantly started kicking and dancing in there. And he was happy. He was letting us know he was okay. And so, like, once I I had him and he passed, my husband decided we're going to cremate him. And now he's like, his urn is made into a car. It's the cutest little thing, which I will post a picture and show you guys. And he goes everywhere with us. And I love him to death. But back to any woman that's dealing with miscarriage, stillborns, infant loss, I'm here. If you need anybody to talk to, it is hard. Sometimes, you don't know what to do. And it seems like right after the passing or losing a child, it seems like you see everyone's pregnant. Everything on TV reminds you of pregnancy. You see commercials dealing with pregnancy. It's just so much. And it's hard just to sit there and see someone else pregnant. And you're like, that's not fair. They get to keep their baby and I don't. It's okay to feel like that. It's perfectly fine. That's part of healing. It's also, I know, also you're like, you see a newborn baby. And the thing is, I feel hospitals should have a totally different ward for women who's miscarry or, stillborn babies, from the ones that their baby came out fine and everything. Because when you're in those rooms, you hear the other babies crying. You hear the mothers, and it's so hard dealing with this. So I feel that they should have it to where we're on one side and they're on another side of the, even the hallway is fine. And it's just difficult. I know. I understand your pain. So if you just want to talk about how to get through, I'm still healing. Honestly, I'm still healing. I'm still dealing with a lot. But I can honestly say now I kind of feel better, but that pain will never go away. I promise you, that pain will never go away. It will get easier eventually. It will get a little bit easier, but it's still going to be in the back of your mind. And then also another thing, I feel that when I do become pregnant again, or when any woman become pregnant again, it's still going to be in the back of your mind. If any little small thing go wrong, am I going to miscarry? I'm sorry, I'm looking around because I'm like in public, so I'm trying to watch my surroundings. You always wonder, is anything gonna go wrong with this pregnancy? Just sit back and relax. Please, just enjoy your pregnancy. And if it's meant to be, it will be. I promise you. And I'm learning the hard way, but I promise you guys, it will get so much easier once you pray about it and you just look at it as your angel baby. Your baby, instead of your baby learning to crawl or your baby learning to walk, just imagine your baby, he's one step ahead of all of us. He's flying around heaven, or she's flying around heaven, probably getting into things just like the earthly babies. These little precious babies here. Our precious angel is having good time in heaven, and it don't have to deal with all the atrocities that's happening here on earth. This is a crazy, cruel world. Children are getting bullied. Just for the smallest things. So imagine your baby don't have to go through that. Your baby is peaceful, living the good life, living its best life. I promise you. Just think of it in a positive way, and things will work out. But as I already told you guys, I will leave my social media at the bottom so you guys can, if you need to talk to me on a personal level, I'm here. And I promise you, I will talk my best to give you some kind of comfort. But I understand that it's not gonna get better. I mean, I promise you it's gonna get better, but it's gonna be a difficult time. And that's to any of my ladies. I see you guys later, and at the end I'm going to show a memory thing. I'm going to post my ultrasounds and even his little car. And I thank you guys. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I see you guys later. Peace. I guess that's what Cody